What up? We are on, and it's time to have the conversation. Oh shoot, my mess ain't right. How did that happen like that? You see how it's messed up? Now I gotta move over because the stuff gonna be on top of me. But oh well. We are about to have a conversation. Friday show, we had such great feedback and conversation. I think everybody learned from each other. So what we're gonna do on today, we are going to learn more from each other, because the question now across social media is church hurt real or is it not? Is it fact or is it fiction? Is Leandria Johnson, looking at all of what she done this weekend, is she insane or is she in pain? Does she need help or does she need some medicine? You know, does she need therapy or does she need a deliverance service? Does she need demons cast out of her? What? So we're going to have the conversation right here on the show, but we having the conversation. I ain't even told some folk that we having the conversation. I've got to send out the text, so I'm live and some folk don't even know. Hold on for a minute. Let me go ahead and send it on out to all these hundreds of people so that they can know that we are on. Okay, so today's show, Leandria Johnson, in pain or insane, church hurt, fact or fiction. So we're going to have the conversation. Now, while I'm sitting here in front of you, what I'm going to try to do is stay engaged, because the only way I can do this show is I act like I'm talking to somebody that's sitting right here in front of me with us having a conversation. But my inbox is getting blown up because there's so many new developments on a whole lot of different stories. And so my inbox is getting blown up. And it's very possible I may have to come back on tonight at 10 o'clock because of the level of interest that I have in this story, a show that I done probably some months ago that highlighted something that was going on in our world, particularly in the gospel arena, that just went public on today. And I just got all these facts in my email, and if I don't do it tonight, I'm gonna do it later on this week. So make sure you subscribe on YouTube and click that bell so you know that when I'm on and when I've uploaded a new video. Those of you here on Facebook and also on Periscope, make sure you follow Larry Reid Live all over the internet and follow my personal page. Make sure you're paying attention to my Snapchat, to my Insta story, to find out what's going on and what we're going to be discussing. Okay, so we're about to get started. Now, when we went live on Friday night, it was because Leandria Johnson had went live and she had this rant, for lack of better words. And now, what's about to I can't sit like this. I'm too close. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. So the thing was on top of me. She had a rant, and so it made us have a conversation, actually a conversation that we should have been having as relates to the church is concerned. So we had that show. All of you called in, and the question then was this. Was it what she said? Did you have a problem with what she said, or did you have a problem with how she said it? Y'all called in. We talked about it. There it is. But then, right behind that, not even 12 hours later, I blinked and bam, there she went live again, and she told all of this other kind of stuff. So what we're going to do, for those of you that don't know what's going on, we're going to play a 1-minute video that is a recap and is pulling from the show on Friday. And then I'm going to come back, say a little something else, and I'm going to show you a clip of what happened on Saturday, so we can bring you up to date and have the conversation. Church hurt, is it fact or fiction? And is Leandria insane or is she in pain?
Marvin L. Winans. All I wanted to do was meet you, but you dissed me though. You dissed me because of my flaws. Okay though, that's what y'all Christianity niggas do.
Now, if what Leandria said is the truth, Marvin Winans, we calling you to the darn carpet.
I want to get on the gay community, but guess what? Y'all around here, you know what I'm saying? You around here fucking everybody.
Folk don't like the truth. You already got to tell a hard truth. Try to take all that extra off of it that would get people distracted and caught up in their feelings.
On some real nigga shit. Love, peace, and happiness to those who know the truth and who tired of this Christianity bullshit.
Do you disagree with how she said it or what she said?
I say how she said. I don't have a problem with either one.
How she said it?
I think what she said is legit. Now, how she said it, that's up for debate. Because that's according to however we like to communicate and how we like to express ourselves. All right, so that's a recap from last week. Now, if you're just saying that the issue that people were having, it seemed like, according to the poll that we took here on the show, the issue that everybody was having was a matter of how she said what she said. Now, I think most of us can agree that we back up what she said, don't we? I mean, if you don't back up what she said, I mean, you can. I guess you can call in right now and let me know before we go a little bit further until my side to bring the number over so they can have the number over there. But I think most of us, it wasn't what she said; it was the way that she said it. And I will have to agree. I don't think I gave my opinion on the Friday show, but I will give my personal opinion. My personal opinion is, and I said it like this. Well, maybe I did. Yeah, I did. I did it. In fact, it was just in the clip. Sometimes when you're trying to tell somebody the truth in itself is offensive and that thing sting. You ever you ask somebody, well, how this look? That's somebody that's ugly. You looking for a mess. Just you ugly looking for a mess. It's like, well, damn, why do you ain't have to say it like that? You know, but the reality is the person got to tell you the truth. And so the truth in any form, 9 times out of 10, it stings or it can sting a little bit. And in the truth is a little bit of offense. It's a little hard to take. And so I think with her cussing, I mean, she was doing, now, hold on. It was funny and it was entertaining, but in the big scheme of things, you want to get people to think, you want to wake people up, and you want people to sort of pay attention to what you're saying without getting distracted by all the extra. So I think most of us agree that what she said was okay. Somebody's calling in, so they must don't agree with what I'm saying. So I'm going to talk to the person right now. Okay, caller ending in 0093. Turn your device off. Was it what she said or how she said it from last week's show before we go further? You didn't agree?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, because it's a little delay from the YouTube to the video.
Yeah, you got to don't watch the YouTube. Just listen to me through your phone and turn your phone up.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am the vessel, and I am honored to be here with you. This is my first time catching you live, and I believe that what she said and how she said, I fall on both sides. I have physically myself been spiritually attacked. I've come out of the church world and then now here in doing spiritual work, healing and the whole nine, away from the church for some of these same type of instances. And in that being said, I agree with the lady that was on that I caught the replay of, with her saying it don't matter what she said or how she said it. It needed to be said the way that it was said. We get lost in survival mode and unconditional, and that's the difference. So it's not a church thing, it's a world thing, and survival mode is what it is. And you are seeing the reaction of an experience of survival mode, and we've segregated it by church, by spirituality, by all of these things, but that's what it is. So I agree with her, what she said and how she said it.
Oh, okay.
People are going to say whatever they want to say, just like I am. But
okay, I thought you were going to disagree with me. So you do sort of disagree with me. You think that how she said it, it needed to be said the way that she said it. Now, I'm going to say this. I do believe that some things are cuss worthy, and there comes a time you need to just lay it on the line and cuss a nigga out. Or church folk. Because the reality is, if I tell you the absolute truth, I don't have no more church folk patience. And when I say church folk, I know that's an overgeneralization, but I'm talking about a type of person that's in the church. I don't have church folk patience. If you don't have church folk patience, I want you to type on YouTube, on Periscope, on Facebook, I ain't got no church folk patience left. It's all gone. You know, so I understand there's a moment where you need to cuss somebody out sometimes, because sometimes you got to speak a person's language and just get with them. But because of the sensitivity of what she was saying, I don't think she needed all that. Folk would have still had a problem with what she said, but I just don't think she needed all that extra colorful language. Thank you so much for calling in. All right, I'm gonna go a little bit further now. I've totally ran out of church folk patience. I ain't got none. So I totally understand why she cussed the whole church out, Marvin Winans and all 159 of the Winans family. I understand why she cussed the whole black church out. I understand why she did it. But that don't take away from my opinion that, hey, Lily, you already talking some stuff that most folk ain't gonna talk that's on your platform. So you need to say this a whole different way. But the question on tonight, we're gonna get into tonight's show. The question on tonight, is she in pain though? Or is she insane? Is she totally out her full blasted black woman mind? Or is she in pain? And what we saw was an outburst, as opposed to somebody said she was doing it for attention. I don't believe she's doing it for attention, but everybody got their own opinion. But I do sort of lean to the fact that I think it was an outburst. I mean, she just felt a certain way, turned the phone on, bam! And that's what you got. Okay, they got a few more callers. I'm going to take the 2 more callers. I'm going to play you a clip from Saturday, and we're going to talk about our topic. Okay, caller in 6684. What's your name? Where you calling from? You got 2 minutes.
Deborah from Tennessee.
All right.
I don't consider her. She's not insane. By no means is she insane. She's in pain, and I think she's having a brief meltdown. But my question today is, where is the lie? Where the lie at? Where the lie at? Everything that she named has been named amongst the saints. So I don't know why the church world is so up in the uproar. It's been everything she talks about has been named amongst the saints.
But baby girl, hold on, baby girl. Let me tell you why. I just said it. Because what she said is the absolute truth. Now it's her vantage.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. So, but the truth is not easy to digest. It's not easy to digest because when you just release the truth like that, like how it is, she ain't thinking about protocol.
Yes.
She's not thinking about who is listening, whether this is church babes, infants, people. She don't even care how I make the church look. She like, look, this is what the truth is. She just keep the 100% real. So that's the reason why.
And that's the reason why. And then the cursing is not making it any better.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the problem. And I think that's what got everybody up in the uproar. It's the cursing. But she told the absolute truth.
I think she did. That's my opinion. That's your opinion. That's what I think. Thank you so much for calling in. I'm going to take a few more, you guys. Then I'm going to show you a clip from Saturday. We're going to talk about that. Caller ending in 9967. What's your name? Where you calling from? You got 2 minutes. All right, moving on. You answer. You gotta come through real quick, cause my help ain't got no patience. He got no church folk patience. All right, calling in and then all these numbers I don't know, but if you hear me, what's your name and where you calling from? Okay, you gotta listen to me through the phone and not through your device because there's a delay. You had to call back. Hang up. Call it in and then 5502. What's your name? Where you calling from? You got 2 minutes.
This is Auntie Marlene. Hi, Larry.
Hey, how
Marlene
you doing?
Brown.
Long time.
I know it's been such a long time, so I'm gonna get to it. I think that she's in pain, and I think that some of it is self-inflicted, but I think that a whole lot of it is church people.
Okay.
I think that's what I feel. I don't think she's insane. I think that the pain somehow she medicated herself in different ways, but then the church didn't properly bring healing to her. And like I said, I do believe some is self-inflicted. That doesn't mean I sit in judgment of her, but my heart is sad just looking at the clip. Not sad in judgment.
Yeah,
sad in that the church didn't do, it hasn't done and won't, and it still isn't doing what we need to do to bring her, to restore her.
Okay.
That's where my heart is. That's where the hurt part is. So.
Okay. All right. I hear you. And so you're saying in pain, not insane, and you're sort of saying that church hurt is not fiction, it's fact.
Yeah, it's not. The people, they're not fixing it. And I mean, you may
no. You said no. I'm saying in regards to the title of the show, is church hurt fact or fiction?
I know it's fact.
Okay,
it's
gotcha.
Definitely fact.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, this is very interesting. This is going to be a great conversation because I got some stuff I got to say too. Go ahead. Call it in and 1515. What's your name? Where you calling from? Got 2 minutes.
Hillary?
Y'all got you. Okay, let me tell everybody. You can't listen. You got to listen through your phone. if you're watching this show, you got to listen to your phone because you got to come in real quick. Okay, call it in 4087. What's your name? Where you calling from? You got 2 minutes.
Yes, my name is Tina, calling from California.
Okay,
and Tina. I personally and honestly can truthfully state that she's not in pain and she's not insane at all. I know exactly where she's coming from because I've lived it. I know how they say it's church hurt, but I don't even want to use the church as the head of it. It's just people being who they are.
Okay.
It's just them being who they really truthfully are. I get where she's coming from, and I really would, I really hope and pray that people would just stop looking at her as though something is wrong with her. Nothing is wrong with her. She's just speaking the truth, something that should have been told a long time ago. This has been going on for years. I can relate because I know personally one person, I was 11 years old, 11, and I had just lost my mother. And I went to a person who's in the industry, who's a gospel artist, and tried to have a conversation with this person. And they looked at me like I was crazy. Didn't want to have anything to do with me. So I know where she's coming from. I've seen a lot of these things go on as far as where she's coming from. I can relate. I've seen it. I've lived it. So no, it's not pain. She's not insane. She's just bold enough to be the first one to speak out and tell the truth.
Okay.
So I tip my hat to her.
Gotcha. She's not insane. She's in pain. All right.
She's not insane.
All right. Go ahead. Okay, I'm going to take 3 more of these. I'm going to play your clip from Saturday. We're going to go a little bit further, and we are going to literally go through her life since she came onto the scene about 9 years ago. I'm going to show you some stuff and tell you some things that has happened to her. We're going to talk about it, okay? Make sure you share this out with everybody so everybody get involved and everybody's voice can be heard and we can all learn from each other. All right, call it in and then a whole bunch of numbers. You got your number private. If you can hear my voice, I'm talking to you.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hi, Larry?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad to get on. Listen, I think she's both. I think she's insane and in pain.
Oh.
The problem I have with the whole thing, people try to justify saying she's speaking the truth and she can give her opinion. But let's be realistic. Who's listening to her on Periscope and YouTube? It's not the sinners. It's the church folk. It's the saints. And who's paying her bills? It's the church folks.
Oh.
So you don't. It's the way you do things. You don't come out. And what I had a problem with, she bashed Christianity. If you truly know if you know the definition of that, it's not what you see people doing. You should know that by now. If you're a seasoned thing, it's not. That's not the what Jesus is talking about. What you seeing these preachers doing, sleeping with the women and doing that. That's not what Jesus is about. So you never cut into your money. You don't do that. If you want to touch, no, you don't.
Wait. You didn't tell me your name and where you're calling from. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, I'm sorry. You said speak fast, so I was like, I'm ready. My name is Denise. I'm calling from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, Denise in Cleveland. So you're saying that she's in pain, and what she's saying
has a lot to do with it.
Okay, and what she's saying is the truth.
Has a lot to do with it.
What she's saying is the truth, but she insane because she's saying what she's saying the way she's saying and messing up her darn money.
You never cut into your money like that. She has concerts. She has concerts. She can tell them Christians we need to do better.
Yeah.
Even here in the church, we need you do that. That's your audience. You don't cut into your money.
You don't cut into your money.
Now you gonna be banned and blocked. And the so-called folks who are paying your bill, they're not gonna stand behind that because their parishioners are gonna let them know, no, she can't come here. And they don't cut into their tithes and offerings to have you come there.
Okay.
Won't happen.
I hear you, Denise. Thank you for calling in. All right. This is what I'm gonna do. I see some of you have already been on the phone. You already shut down Denise. Okay. Don't nobody else call in. I'm just hold on. If you're on the line, keep your place. Just keep your phone. You just keep your phone the way you can hear me. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share a clip from what she did Saturday, because some of you, hundreds of thousands of you, have actually seen what she said. At least the clips I showed you. you've seen what she said on Friday in part. If you on the Larry Live page, that video has about 300,000 views, and the show itself has tens of thousands of views from Friday. So you've seen it. Now, you may not have seen what she said Saturday. So what I've done, I've made it a 1-20-second clip. And so we're going to watch what she said on Saturday. Now, let me tell you this. After she done what she done on Friday, she was supposed to go sing at Essence during the gospel segment, I think on the Walmart stage. Tamala Man, blah, 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 was all up there. But she got a nice little call saying, we don't need, what Shani tell that girl on Basketball Wives, your services are no longer needed. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm not laughing about it, but I lean sort of to Denise's side. Lily, girl. I mean, is Robert still working with her? I don't know. He released a statement. I'm going to tell y'all Robert's statement, what Hezekiah Walker said about church hurt. I'm going to show you all of that, what was posted online. We're going to get into that full conversation. But I would have told her, look at here. Now, I back you, Lily. I back what you're saying. But just how to do this thing. I think that you really are supposed to lead some people or people into consciousness, into transparency. I think there's a ministry that can come out of this, what she is doing. And I think she should lead it. In fact, that's what I told her the other day. I have communicated with her since the last show. I think this is what she needs to do. Absolutely. But there are ways that you go about doing what you're doing. You can't do it the way that you've been doing it. You got to try a different way. But anyway, here go the video from Saturday. Let's listen.
The church is the only place you can get robbed and nobody call the police. Period. There, I said it. I said it. The church is the only place that you can get robbed and nobody call the police. I said it. Y'all mad at me because of what I said, but y'all not dealing with what's going on in the church. Instead of talking about me from what I'm saying, talk about how many people don't want to do church because of what church did to people. Let's talk about that though. But y'all want to get on me. Y'all want to talk about me. Come on now. I'm not afraid. I'm saying what I'm saying because it's time out for that. Y'all want to get on me, but what about all the people that was hurt? Thank God for social media. Thank God. Thank God. All I said was what I said. Hell, the last thing that I did that would be controversial to the church was be in my house on Periscope drinking Patron, which I don't drink that no more. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Now I'm on live telling the truth, and y'all still mad.
All right, just so you know, the reason why that video was choppy at the end ain't got nothing to do with what our system here. It has to do with people kept calling her, so the playback looks like that. And she has to cuss whoever that was. Somebody named Krista got a good cussing now because she's supposed to quit calling Leandria while she's on the phone. And I text Leandria and said, look, turn your phone on Do Not Disturb the next time you go live so we ain't got to go through all them darn changes. We can't hear what you preaching because your mess ain't right. Tell them to quit doing it. Okay, but anyway, a few things that she said, and I think this is really where I pulled tonight's show from, because she mentioned church hurt in there. So the topic tonight, is she in pain or is she insane? We're going to keep answering that question. I'm going to let you callers coming in that are still coming in. But church hurt, is it fact or fiction? So I began to scroll through my timeline and I began to see some things. Now, I don't know if you know who Bishop Hezekiah Walker is. Bishop Hezekiah Walker is probably one of, and I'm going to say this, one of the golden calves of gospel. And I think this is another reason why Leandria was being crushed and talked about so bad, because she touched one of the golden calves of gospel. And I know you guys may not like that analogy that I'm using. You know, if you know the scripture, you know, to go to golden calf is like an idol. But for many people, gospel artists and preachers are like idols. So because she touched the golden calf, Marvin Winans and the Winans family and everybody connected to her, that's really the reason why a lot of folk is killing Leandria point blank. It ain't so much what she's saying and how she's saying it. It's just that what she's doing, which is revealing some things that happen in gospel industry. If what she said Marvin Winans did, he needs to be called to the carpet. Yes, there are rumors. I didn't say put this picture up there. I'm talking about Hezekiah Walker. There are rumors about him, and I mentioned Don McClurk and some other people who tend to operate like this. We don't know if it's true or not, but Leandria said it happened to her. Okay, so if it's true, then we do need to call Marvin Winans to the carpet. She mentioned in her video on Saturday, she mentioned church hurt. So of course, because this story is real big, every preacher and every pastor across the U.S., and when I say every, I'm not really talking about every last one of them. I'm pretty sure plenty have pulled something out of this whole Leandria thing and created a message or got into their message because it's what they have divulged. And she pressed church hurt. I heard it, and so I made a post about it about 24 hours ago that today's show is going to be about church hurt. And since then, I have seen a whole lot of posts and everybody's talking about church hurt. This is what Bishop Hezekiah Walker said. Now, I pulled this from someone that heard him say it, but so I didn't hear him say it personally. I got to keep my mic, and I'm going to read it for you. This is what he said. He said, church don't hurt you. People hurt you. Let me say it again. Church don't hurt you. People hurt you, says Bishop Hezekiah Walker. And hashtag I see there, no church hurt. And this is coming from Zebulon Ellis's Instagram, which is another contestant on Sunday Best that Leandria won. I don't think they were in the same year because Leandria was season 3. But he posted this. He said, the church healed me. Stop being or playing a victim. No persecution complex. No church hurt. So this is what made me decide to do this show. Is church hurt fact or fiction? Is church hurt a cop-out? Is the whole term church hurt what people automatically, almost like a knee-jerk reaction, go to whenever they want to excuse their acting out or excuse them not going or excuse them not being committed at the level that they should be to a church, to a leader, or to a vision? Is it a cop-out? So is church hurt fact, or is it most time when people use it fiction? Now, this is what I want to say. And I'm going to be real careful at what I say because I want everybody's voice to be heard, and I don't want my personal opinion to override the show. But I do want to voice my opinion, and I know some people do want to hear my opinion on it. One of the things that I want to say is that the church collects broken things. Can we just let that put that down? That's what the church does. People come to the church that are already hurting, and 9 times out of 10, it's life. That person has been hurt in and through life, a lot of times through the family. And somebody like Leandria, who parents were or are pastors, you're talking about so many opportunities of hurt, of condemnation, judgment, and criticism that she has suffered at a level that unless you have been in that same position, you will never know. Being hurt from the pew and hurt from the pulpit, being hurt from the pulpit and being hurt at the house where the pastor is. Those are different levels to that kind of hurt. So Bishop Hezekiah Walker, I say this. Put this picture up there. I got to talk to him. Hey, Bishop, how you doing? Bishop, this is what I got to say about what you said about no church hurt. If Zebulon really posted it the way that you said it, I need for you to get back in your pulpit on Sunday and retract what the heck you said, or either you didn't make a post or do a video to explain your darn self. Because you know that the church collect hurt things and people come there already hurt. And then they come there and some stuff happen in the church called us as pastors and the leadership and pastoral elders. We don't always know everything, and folk that interact with folk in the church that turn around and hurt them. They come there, get pregnant, get raped, get robbed, just like Leandria said, and nobody called the darn police. And you know it. And you really know it because somebody got hurt in your church not too long ago because some of your men in your church hurt somebody from what I said, from what I heard, and I can't wait to do the show on it until I'm released because right now it's a case and they did get jumped in your church and I can't wait to do that so you know folk get hurt at the church. All right, take them down, son. We get back to Leandria. And I love Bishop Hezekiah Walker. I love you, absolutely. Your music and the soundtrack of my soul. But I got to just tell you the truth. And it's my opinion. Let me say that. It's my opinion. I think it's the truth, but it may not be. But I just think that what I said is true. So this is my opinion now. My opinion. Hurt happens in the church. Real hurt happens in the church because you're dealing with flawed people. Everybody coming there. Let me read y'all something. Y'all may not know this, and we can go a little bit further because I got to talk about we're going to go through her life and the whole Matthew Knowles thing because her first signing, and some other stuff. But let me say this first. I wrote this book. I pastored 20 years, and this is my exit book. It's forwarded by Mark Sharona. It's called and it's so funny. Marvin Winans sang the song, Let the Church Say Amen. And I wrote a church, Amen mashed out, and it's saying, Let the Church Say Change. Let me read a segment about the church that I said in the book. And you can order it offline if you want to and read it. Because I give 3 approaches to help people problem solve that I learned after all these years of setting up churches and pastoring and being the apostle, all these different people, and the bishop to these folks. So, all right, churches of the sort skillfully offer temporal emotional relief by giving this one-of-a-kind spiritual neuronarcotic fix of opiates, sedatives, and hallucinogens. Like a street pimp or drug pusher, the church feeds off souls for $1 amount. Leandria said, this is what she said, that church is the only place you can get robbed and the police ain't called. I would have to say that in some churches, not all churches, that instead of the church affecting the culture, it is merchandising the culture. And I talked about this here in this book. I said, just as it is on the streets, more people equal more money in churches of this kind. Churches that need reform, because the whole book is about church reform. In those churches, they take the money of its members while their thinking capacity is hijacked by the high that they have created atmospherically. Their preachers in the pulpit are such great mystical manipulators, pushing almost like a pusher does drugs. The addicts warm the pews, and they call the abuse that they're experiencing having a good time or having church. It's that type of church that many Americans are a part of, or should I say addicted to. Then there are other churches that seem, now that's one kind of church, that money hunger church, you're talking about folk get robbed. But then there are other kind of churches that seem to boast of having the monopoly on what God will do and what God will not do. They have determined what isn't acceptable or kosher for a church to do or a member to do. There are houses of control founded and almost entirely operative upon someone's personal experience or collection of private interpretations of scriptures. Such churches reign supreme where education and knowledge take the back seat to phenomenon and emotionalism. Churches of this type do not represent Christ and will not receive my hearty amen. Hence, I wrote the book, Let the Church Say Change, as opposed to amen. So this is what I want you to do. In light of all of what we're discussing, we're about to take these callers and see what these callers is saying and what she said Saturday. I want us to really think about, because we know the church ain't perfect. I pastored 20 years. I messed the heck up. I didn't get it up. It took me years to get it right. And even after you get it right, if you've done it wrong for a long time, you got to stay. If you were strong and wrong for a long time, it take a long time for some people, to really catch up. So let's think about it. Is she insane or she in pain? Now I would agree with that call. She got a little bit of insanity. It ain't when I will mess up my bag. But if you caught up, and she was caught up, you just come out the gate like that. So let's see what these callers are saying. Insane or in pain? Church hurt real fact or is it fiction? Caller in 3706. What's your name and where you calling from?
Can I start with the scripture, sir?
Yeah, of course.
Are you familiar with Isaiah 45:7, and I don't want to use just that scripture.
Yeah, but let's hit it. Let's move, man. You got
the first six scriptures ahead of that. There's different translations of the Hebrew language.
Mm.
So I want to know how you have learned how to interpret Isaiah 45:7.
Okay, I would have to look at Isaiah 45:7 because I ain't wanting to preach, although I got all the degrees in it. I ain't wanting to preach. You can tell me scripture and I just go with it like that. But I will say you can ask me what it is you're asking me. What you getting at?
And now I'm not here to vilify you as a black man. Of course, it's tough.
You can say whatever, man.
Of course, it's tough, especially when you're making every attempt to find the right way to live life.
Okay.
And we came across religion in a very harsh manner, considering how we came into America.
Okay.
And I don't want to turn you into the villain because I don't hear you about you're not talking about selling drugs or obtaining women for inappropriate sexual acts.
Mm-hmm.
According to the King James Version, and this is in English, this is not in the Greek translation.
Okay.
Neither is it in Hebrew. This is in English. So we have to make sure that we understand that we are interpreting things from a translation.
Okay. You can just you can just shoot it to me straight. Let's give it to you straight so we go to the next call. I don't mind.
I form light. I create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all things.
Okay.
Now I'm challenging you, sir. Why would the Most High create evil?
Okay. Well, I don't mind answering that question, but I don't want to. I have another show called Power Up 15. You on Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. Calling there. I take time and go back.
I know
and
we're
forth.
talking about a young lady's behavior. I'm listening to you intensely.
Yeah, but that question, I don't see how that go with that.
To whoever it's related to whoever you are in question of. Are we sensationalizing the Bible?
I do think sometimes we do sensationalize things for our own personal benefit.
Is that appropriate?
Oh, absolutely not. No, it's not. It's not at all. All right, but hit me up on the other show. Hit me up on the other show so I can take time and really get into
discuss something too difficult.
Hit the X. Now you gotta be a nigga now. Now we were doing fine. I just told you, got a whole nother show. This ain't the show for that. This is the entertainment darn show. You might want to hear all that slow darn talk and ask me 50-11 questions on a darn scripture. Say what you got to say. Get the heck off my darn line. Yeah, go ahead. Call it in and then 2232. What's your name? Where you calling from? Got 2 minutes. Talk to me.
Hey, praise the Lord, Brother Reid. How you doing?
What up, man?
Hey, I'm just a prophet out of Tennessee. As I operate in my gifts, Brother Reid, I can discern that she's hurt, she's angry, she's discomfortable. It's like she's on a revenge tip. But the thing about it is this, Brother Larry. You chose that platform, and you had not been delivered from way back on any given the Sunday Live when she won all that stuff. She has not ever had a change of life from that time up until now. And the Bible said what's in a man's heart is what's going to come out. What's in her is just what's coming out. People's going to get hurt in church till Jesus come back. That is a done deal. That's never going to change. They got hurt in the Bible days. Jesus was hurt by the scribes and Pharisees. Paul talked about how the Jews had made the name of God being blasphemed among the Gentiles because they was saying one thing in the book of Romans. They were saying thou should not steal, and they were stealing. They was committing adultery. So you are always going to have people that's not going to do right. But the thing is this, Brother Larry.
Okay.
These people have soul ties with these churches that they don't want to break soul ties.
Okay, hold on. Let's start. Let's talk about that. I'm gonna let you go because you're over your 2 minutes. That I 100% agree with you, because I believe that when people leave churches, they're actually leaving leaders most of the time. I think that a lot of times people, they develop soul ties with their leadership, and they'll stay in a church to answer the question to everybody talking about how she talking about the church and Christianity, but then she get paycheck for it. The same way that you go and clock in at your job and talk about your boss, talk about your supervisor, the place where you get paid, you still don't like stuff, but you still speak about it and talk to other folk. But because you are tied in some way, mind you, her dad is a bishop, is a pastor. So her God concept and her faith concept somehow or another ties to her father. So we could be seeing that there's some problem between her and her family, or her and her father, and because of that she rejecting Christianity, right. And this. So I agree, the soul ties and the relationship stuff all play into this. Thank you so much for calling. All right. Reid. Caller ending in 21. Caller ending in 2110. What's your name? Where you calling from? You got 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm a pastor from out of town, North Carolina. Okay. I just wanted to say thank you for the privilege of being able to say something. But I just wanted to say I feel like she's in pain, and some of it is insane, because the Bible lets us know who much is given, much is required. She asked to be on that platform, and as long as the higher we go, the higher the level of devils that we have to go, entertain us. So I'm just saying that even as being a pastor, yes, pastors, what about pastors hurt? People say church hurt. Pastors get hurt worse than the people, because people always turn on the pastors, they use them up, want pastors to spend the money on them, but then they'll turn around after you done put all your time into them, they'll turn around and stab you in your back and talk about you like a dog.
Come on.
So therefore, or the pastors can't go insane and start cussing and want to shoot people. That is not the way of godly. That is not a godly way of handling a thing. Amen?
Okay, hold on. You done said a whole lot of good stuff. I pastored 20 years. God knows you're telling the truth. I just about got my deliverance. Oh, blah. But look. But hold for a minute. Let me say.
As a pastors, we want to go off the deep end. Sometimes we want to just tell somebody else, but they can easily find a problem in a pastor. And what about the problem in the people? Come on, somebody. All right. What about the problem in the people? A lot of pastors go home, shoot their brains out, crying all over how people have done them. But one thing about the Bible said that we got to honor against our brother. We should go to them. I'm sure that Marvin Winans was not the only person have shunned her. It has been many people have shunned all of us, but that was inappropriate. Even the enemy said when Jesus entered off of the boat and came into the city, the demons at the graveyard started ranting and raving. That is a spirit that needs to be cast out. Thank you for your time, man of God. God bless you and have a good night.
All right, drop the mic. Good God, hold on, don't open that line up. Let me die during Jess. She was doing very good. We could have a conversation. She just took over and preached my whole show. But God knows she telling what truth is. Oh, she was out of North Carolina. Tell them North Carolina preachers, they something about us. But you so nicely took over the whole show. I need when you get delivered of a takeover spirit and a talk too long spirit. That's what I need for you to get delivered of. You talk too long and you got to take over spirit. This is my darn show. I told you 2 minutes and you went over. All right. Okay. All right, that's a whole nother show, though. Okay, caller in and 1515. What's your name? Where you calling from? 2 minutes.
Larry, this is John. I'm calling from Chicago.
What up?
So this is what I want to say, man. From the start of the scene of Leandria has given us nothing but soul in her music. She's given us her pain. We felt her what she's been through all the way through the beginning of time. So this is what I want to say. From TV1, watching that episode, she kind of took us down her belief system, with her father and and the problems that they had growing up. So what I'm trying to say now is this woman is in pain. I'm feeling her pain. I'm actually hearing what Hezekiah Walker had to say as far as the church. The reality is we are the church. The people make up the church. And what I want to say is, I wish that it was more gospel artists standing, standing up and just saying that we understand, Leandria. We understand how the church can rob you. The reality is, man, I've been robbed in the church. Thousands of dollars at the end of it, crying, rolling the floor, and come to find out, nothing changed, and it's still, I'm going back to bills and all of that. So she exposed that. And sometimes the reality is, if you're going to really reach somebody, you just got to be rough with it. And so when we talk about the fact that she's cussing and saying all that, you know what? She got us on the edge of our seats right now. She got us like, wow, is this coming from Leandria? Yes, this coming from her. Because you know why? She had a place where, I don't care what I have to lose. And one more thing I want to mention, man, is that, I hate the fact that, if she was like a Oprah Winfrey, and if she was like a Tyler Perry, these billionaires who got money, when people say things about them, they brush it off because it's like, you ain't, stopping my money or my flow. So, the reality is,
hold on. Let's talk about that. And this is something that I said. This is something that I said before, because this goes back to a conversation I had with her privately in 2016. I think that it's time to maybe get some other people in the think tank when it comes to her creating her business model, because if she wants to do it like this, like Thaddeus Matthews, cuss, then you have to create your own platform. Thaddeus Matthews is not going into everybody to church singing, going into everybody to church preaching. So what she has to do now is to create her own platform and do it the way that Leandria does it. It's sort of sticky to be, correcting and rebuking the church, but you still going to church and you still got these bookings. I mean, I heard that the reason why, I don't know if it's true, I heard that the reason why all this popped off is because the McDonald's tour, they took her off of it, and that was the trigger. And the reason why they done it is because of that Patron stuff, from years ago. And she was like, look, you still trying to make me pay for this? Now that's what I heard. That's alleged. I don't know if that's the truth or not. And so now there are other dates that she still has and that's been posting to her social media ever since Friday that she still have. But I had to make a decision. Let me say this. And I'll let you go because you're over your time anyway. Thank you for calling. I had to make a decision. That's the reason why I walked away from pastoring for 20 years. Because at the last 10 years of my preaching, I started preaching in a way and I started noticing that what I was getting from God was all about ministering and touching the world. And what I was saying is that the church model needed to reform and that churches need to be focused on getting people, taking hurt people, using 3 different approaches to help them problem solve, getting into connection with themselves and God, going out into the world, whatever their gift, whatever world that they are anointed to work in as a nurse or as a engineer or as an actor or whatever, go into the world and influence people, be that light, operate at the peak of your ability, your talent, and your gift that God has given you and anointed you with, and be that light in the world. And so when I begin to talk like that and I begin to talk about the tithe, I say the tithe and offering system is to teach you about giving. That's not something we should do all the time. We should outgrow tithing and offering. But at the same time, I was receiving tithe and offering. So I had to make a decision. I got to change my whole business model. So I got to operate differently. I can't be receiving tithe and offering and then talking about so she has to rethink her model, because what she's saying, you can't benefit off of something that you are representing. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You're representing something that you really saying that you don't agree with. So I began to struggle within myself probably 9 years ago about being a representative of something that I was, a little discontented with. So I knew I had to walk away from pastoring and being an apostle in the church and bishop in the church, because that system and the way things were set up, and people are used to that, and there ain't nothing wrong with it if that's what you need to do. Because I think the church birthed world changers. I think it's a great place, but I just don't think you should stay there all of your darn life. So, I think we still need great churches that's like spiritual universities that are really in the community, bringing change in the community. I absolutely believe that the church should be a rehabilitative community construct in every community. But what you saying, Lily, you're going to have to find a different model, a different kind of setup, because You can't be running around to these churches and making your money off these churches, and at the same time, you got to fix that. You had to fix it. Had to figure out how you going to fix that, because they don't know how that going to work like that. But hold on, I'm going to take the rest of the calls. They won for, God, they've been holding for a long time. But hold on, let go to this picture here. Right here, Sunday Best. I want y'all to look at this. This is how we met her. Look at this. This is how we met Leandria. Lord have mercy. A little piece of money do you good, because that there's rough. That's a rough picture. Lord, lady, you know I love you. You know I love you. But don't when T.S. Madison had her first husband, I don't know which husband was on the show, and I was commenting up under there. I don't know if this is the truth. However, Lily seen me at Phipps Mall over around there. Her and Robert Thatcher, and I was with, what's that boy name that done the production? We got in that fuss. What's his name? I can't think of his name, but we all ran into each other. And she was like, I got a problem with you. I said, what? I said, I didn't say anything mean. I just stated my opinion. And some people, not saying Lily is like that, but that sort of made me think she was. I can't be friends with nobody that. I got to be able to have my own opinion. Y'all know people like that. I can't stand it. I got to be able to say, look, this is what I think. I think that's the reason why B-Slade, Demetrius Senegal, Tony, all of them just block me, Donna McClurkin on social media, because how come I can't have an opinion about what you did and call you out for what it is you did and we still be cool? That's how it is with all my friends. We be like, look, no nigga, you wrong. I ain't like that. But that's what you think. This is what I believe. We still cool, but we don't agree on this. It's like church folk. I don't know if it's an ego. That's why I tell you, my church folk patience is out. I'm not talking about all church folk, but some church folk. I don't see what problem with it. How come I can't say I don't like that? Or you shouldn't have did that? There's another way you can do that. No, nigga, you wrong. I don't care nothing about you being an apostle. You wrong. Especially if I ain't saying it in a way to bring harm and being all evil and stuff. I'm just telling you. But anyway, this is a rough picture. I don't care how you put it. Just as rough. God knows it is. But that thing stood there and she sang in front of Don McClurkin and in front of the two Marys, and she sang up a scandal. Mind you, she had just lost her house. It was in foreclosure. She just lost her house to foreclosure right before then. And she came there. Some friends gave her some money and she went and sang. She sung, lo and behold, bam, won the show. Next thing you know, she's with Matthew Knowles. She's with Matthew Knowles, and I think it was Music World Universe. I think that's the name of the label. Anybody who won the Sunday Best, he then partnered with them and took them up under the wing. But then, done really, really, really well. She released two EPs. They merged and made it one album. Matthew Knowles was smart, because a lot of people don't know you can't get on them the Grammys, the Stellas, and all that. You can't be doing that with no EPs. You can get them numbers and qualify for it, but you're gonna have to come up with a album in order to get on that for real, and win one of them awards off an album. So anyway, I'm working with one of my artists now to do that, and so got that up there, bam, and she ended up Lee. She won a Grammy. And so she go from absolutely nothing. Now, mind you, we know from her interviews that she was in the church as a praise and worship leader, singing around different going different places. She got married a couple of times. I think in 2010 she went and sung at Shirley Caesar conference, 8,000 people. She had her first big stage. That's when she realized she had a really great gift. She started going around and singing around. And so during that time, she said she was still struggling with alcohol. This is about her own profession. She was still struggling with sex and sleeping with men over and over. She kept telling everybody, this is what I'm dealing with. So she was still having struggles like any regular person that's trying to change their life, that has any kind of addiction or any kind of issue. But standing here don't look like she got none of that going on. When she got a mic in her hand singing, oh gee, it don't look like she got none of that going on. But she had that going on, and she was open and honest about it. She won't trying to make us believe something that won't. Folk around her, when she got pregnant, out of wedlock, made her remember when she was hiding her stomach and singing at different places because she had got pregnant and she wasn't married, and then she ended up getting with Forrest, and then they end up on this show. Y'all remember this? She ended up on this show. She was on this show, and then folk began to see how Leandria was, how she was a different kind of preacher. So she would go dress like a hooker, pass out condoms, go sitting out there with the folk that's drinking and stuff, just try to get them to church to give them a leg up. So everybody started killing. Now, mind you, all this is going on. She having these personal struggles, and she's really going through life in front of all of us over the past 8 and 9 years, dealing with all of this level of criticism and all this kind of stuff. So if she is insane, it's because of the pain. And for her, church hurt is an absolute reality, because the hurt that happened to her, a great deal of it happened to her by way of church folk. Now put that picture of Matthew Knowles. Let me tell you what happened with this whole thing. Y'all remember this hit Twitter a long time ago? Oh my God, I done shut it down. Hold on. I'm gonna pull it back up. I gotta pull this up. You ain't gonna. Here it is. This hit Twitter a long time ago. This is when we realized, say something ain't going right between her and Matthew Knowles. This is what she tweeted. She said, "I have not said nothing for 2 years now. Matthew Knowles is a crook, and I want out. I'm tired of being bullied." Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. Now I can speak on this because will always be, no matter what kind of music I'm writing and doing, a gospel artist. And the industry is no joke. In fact, Jonathan McReynolds just done a wonderful article. Go to his Instagram. Jonathan McReynolds, I said Reynolds, it's McReynolds, ain't it? He just, on his Instagram, he talked about the things to think about before you talk about going into the industry, and talking about how hard it is. It's difficult. So she had Beyonce Daddy. I mean, how much better can you get? And she tweeted, "He is an absolute crook." And then Robert Hatcher, who was also on Sunday Best, but he didn't make it that far and became her manager, I think. He said this: "Dear Matthew Knowles, you crazy. You cussed me out, called the police on me while I was in your office. If I didn't like Beyonce, I would have destroyed that office, but my love for her kept those pics on the wall. You're crazy as hell. Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. This industry is full of liars, 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 and you have the nerve. Woo, don't get me started. From TV show producers to record producers," he added. Now, all of this is going on. Put Leandria back up there. Let's look at her now. All of this is, let me say something to her. Leandria, you know what? Now, we don't like all that cussing and stuff you done, and then drinking and stuff you did out there. We don't like all that stuff you put out there on Front Street like that, but we know that's who you are, so we give you a pass on that, because at least you done it in front of all of us. Because clearly, according to Obnoxious blog, everybody else is doing a whole lot of other stuff, but they just hiding it. But you put it out there. In fact, you ain't never been an Obnoxious blog, because you tell all your own mess. But anyway, Leandria, maybe we have been a little mean to you and not considered all this stuff you done been through in just a little of 8 years, personal and public. So versus us doing all these videos talking about how you supposed to be as a leader and how you supposed to be as a pastor, and this ain't protocol and that, we're going to say, you know what, you're a human darn being. And we're going to find a way to coexist, because we don't want no witness situation. Let me tell y'all something. There's something that hit my spirit. Let me get spiritual. Now, by no means is she a Whitney Houston. And I ain't seen that movie. Y'all tell me how that movie is. Hit me up. Let me know. LarryLive@gmail.com. I'm going to go before I spend my money. But if we don't treat her right, don't say nothing if something happened, because she could be dealing with suicide right now. I don't want to see Al tweet, and especially those of you that's around her and a part of her crew, because Leandria is picky about who she deal with. She'll talk to anybody, but when it comes, she only deal with that crew, and she creaked that door open to some. Don't you say nothing, because this here is one of the most gifted things we have ever had in the gospel, and I think in the world. And we need to do a little bit better about it. Do she need correction? I mean, yeah, you need it too, nigga. But let's fix this. We ain't throwing her away. We just ain't throwing her away. We ain't doing that, and we ain't about to kill her. All right, this ain't gonna be no witness in here. There ain't gonna be no witness situation. All right now. All right, let me read y'all what Robert Thatcher said. Then I'm gonna take some more calls. I'm gonna be done out of here. I gotta go eat. Gotta go do something. Robert Thatcher released a statement, and he put it on the intranet, and I'm gonna read it for you. Let me see where it's at. Lord have mercy. If I get one more sex video, then I've been a sex video released. Y'all remember the story I done between James Hall and Kevin Bond, where the sex video has done got out and it's in my inbox, along with the update on some other stuff. I might have to do a show this week. See, that's the kind of stuff Leandria was talking about. It shouldn't. Everybody know James Hall don't just like women. I mean, but everybody know that there ain't no way in the world. I mean, everybody knew that. I would think they did. So why he got to act like that he ain't same gender loving or liking? How come he just can't be regular? You know why? Cause church folk. I told you I got this little bit. I don't have no church folk patience. We can say you ain't supposed homosexuality sin and the Bible and all that. Yeah, that's fine. But we talking about how we treat folk. We can say, James, if that's how you believe, get delivered, all of that. But we ain't got to make nobody feel bad for being who or whatever they are or whatever they're struggling with, however you want to see it. We got to do better with that. I'm going to say y'all got to do better with that because I done got better with that. I don't do nobody like that. I don't care what you is. Just don't get on my darn nerves and get out my way. Leave me the heck alone. All right, hold on. Here it is. I got it. Lord, church folks so long-winded. I'm going to have to rush through this. From my heart to yours, Leandria Johnson is one of the most influential voices of our time. Her heart is as big as her voice. That's true. Her passion and desire to help the broken heart and wounded supersedes any financial gain that she could ever accumulate. Absolutely true. Seen that firsthand. The video that Leandria posted can be used as a segue to foster a transparent conversation about a number of issues that are taboo in the church community. Absolutely. In lieu of criticism and judgment, we should all work to restore each other in the spirit of love. We are slowly losing a generation of great champions to issues that our community refuse to acknowledge. Yep, a whole lot of the gospel folk dying of AIDS, Percocet addiction, getting murdered. Their pastor just murdered his wife. They say because he was sleeping with a whole lot of men. And he didn't never want the wife to know that he was the homosexual or bi or down low or something. Just crazy, man. They ain't have to. But love who you want to love. Go that's to get mad, your man, get your man, or a few men and get your own church. Do what you do. And we don't like it, we ain't gonna go. That's what y'all do. But you ain't got to go kill nobody or kill yourself. We just got to change up the way that we do some stuff. Not just the church, but systems everywhere. You ain't got to change how you believe. You ain't got to change what you believe about the Bible. You just got to treat folk better. What the heck? Anyway, go read it on his page. I'm tired of reading that. Let me take the callers. Woo. Oh, Lord. All right. Caller ending in 1432. What's your name and where you're calling from? You got 2 minutes.
This is Leron Atkinson.
What up, Leron?
Yeah. Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Oh, well, here's a few things. This is probably going to go against the grain. First off, thanks for having me on. And that is this. I don't think that it's fair to make statement that she's mental because of her choice of words. She's colorful. That's part of what we love and enjoy about her. She's soulful. Part of what we love and enjoy about her. I don't think that her choice in delivery was right. But I also think that Sunday Best, her coming out, she had a great catapult in her career. But what she missed from it, and what a lot of people miss when you're not processed, is all of the other benefits that go along with helping to build your ministry, like creating friendships and tenure and things of that help you stay alive in doors that are as large as your gift, as you're maneuvering. So to get and meet people that you grew up listening to and loving, and you just in the sticks and the hills, and somebody walks past you. I don't know if that's true or how she may have interpreted that, but these are people you look up to, and you were made based upon a show that was just a few years ago.
Yeah.
And now here you are, and you're like, I really had this high expectation of you, and you still have these rejection issues because you're still trying to figure out, do I really belong here? Do I qualify? Is this happening? So you get raw emotions that sound more like someone freshly coming out of a culture in the world, going into another that they don't understand, and you don't have or don't know who you can trust around you to teach you the politics that go along with the skill set that you have. And these people will kill you.
Yeah.
I think it's also dangerous to have those type of pains and those experiences, like, the picture that you placed earlier with her coming out of her house burning and different things of that sort. This is fresh pain.
Yeah.
And the reality is a lot of our Christian leaders don't know how to handle people that have that type of fresh pain. We don't know how to handle our own fresh pain. Titles and things of that sort may make it seem like we should, but they don't know. And a lot of leaders don't know how to deal with hurting people. Therefore, when
but hold on, Leron, let me say this. Now but hold on, Leron. How in the whole heaven and the hell are you going to be a pastor and don't know how to handle hurting people when the church is people? That's people business.
I get it. I said something. I said we work on our theology so much, but where our culture and where many leaders lose it is that we don't work on our sociology because we don't have to. When you're king in your own castle, queen in your own castle, it's very rare that someone in your castle tells you, work on this, and you don't have to listen because we could be kings and queens in our own culture. And we also appoint and anoint based upon who we like, who we approve of. And because of that, you don't have to be nice to people. But the culture now, they don't need that. And what a lot of leaders are messing up, and we say these leaders are disrespecting our churches, our leaders, our bishops. When you see people that are great that are coming, and you know they have it, their skills, these et cetera, and you don't invest into it, you can't come at someone and you've never come to see about them. You never invested in them. That's why these leaders are getting cussed out. And as a pulpiteer, there have been people that have been in the pulpit that as you're coming, you hate biting your tongue. This generation is not biting their tongue anymore. There have been people, I wouldn't say I wanted to cuss them out, but I could have. And I can't pretend that I don't understand that passion, that I don't understand that aggression.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of leaders today that would have been better leaders if they would have been cussed out earlier. So while I look at Leandria, I understand people saying, we got to protect the church and what's sacred. I know people are going to disagree. I'm not even looking at the comments. But the reality is there are going to be leaders that are going to be cussing, that are going to be raw, and their culture is created by pain now. They're not created by platforms that we may have been used to. But leaders are being built and they're raised up based upon pain. And if church leaders don't learn how to minister to that pain and or leave that alone, you're going to have leaders and next generals, not because they're theologically sound, but they're being raised up because our leaders don't know how to
deal with pain.
And pretend they don't know how to deal with pain.
Yeah. Now let me say this.
Gets on and starts fussing out people.
Let me say this, and I know everybody's probably listening to me like, you let Leron go over. That's called we friends. So that's why I'm let him go over a little bit. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let you go because I got some more callers. But my question to the audience and to you, with that being said, the current temperature of the church and most church leaders, now all churches, we're not talking about all churches, should we reform the church or should we run from it?
I think that we have to learn how to address without attacking.
Okay.
And for a Leandria, for example, and I saw some of the responses from some of the leaders. A hurting leader or wounded leader has to be able to know that even if I make a mistake or an error, that if you're going to be mature and be a voice to protect the church that I am a part of, you can't hurt me for likes. You can't hurt me for love.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hurt me for approval. You can't hurt me because hurting me increases your platform.
Ooh.
You're going to be a surgeon, regardless of why I'm bleeding. If you're going to treat me, But the moment you mistreat me, you're subject to my response. And my response is not going to be a healed person because I didn't start as a healed person. I started as a hurt person. And I came to the hospital, but you treated me like the hospital is a hospice. Yes, I'm going to cuss you out. And as a preacher, when I see other pastors make that error or make that mistake and there's a coldness there, what we end up doing is thinking we're protecting the church. We run hurt people to other hurt masterminds that know how to manage pain. And they'll teach them their theology. They'll teach them their ideology. And those people and their platform, we end up, in the name of protecting the church, becoming some of the greatest evangelists from the very things we call the Antichrist and Antichrist life. And all these other religious leaders have to give them is the allure of love that they have not received from the church.
Yeah.
That's why leaders are congregating together outside of the church. And I know some will say, I don't care, let them go. But how smart are you and how effective are you in the kingdom when a lot of the personnel are being ran away because of the decisions that we made?
Exactly.
That's my perspective.
Later on, you said a whole lot of good things, and I gave you 4 minutes, and if everybody is screaming and hollering,
I appreciate it, and I apologize to everybody else.
But no, it's all right. I let you do that because we friends, and we've talked on this subject before, and you said a whole lot of great things. Thank you so much for watching the show.
You got it.
Okay, now, you hit that real quick. Okay, I'm seeing a whole lot of you guys saying, okay, run from the church, run from the church. Okay, let me ask you this. I say reform. Now, somebody asked me, say, you say reform, but you're not pastoring no more. That's because I had to expand beyond the 4 walls of church. But I still preach, and y'all can still invite me. And I still do all of that stuff. But the thing is this. If you in a bad one, run from it. Screw it. Run fast as you can. Get up out of there. Go. Now. Skedaddle. Go on. Quick. I mean, but if you in a church and something just ain't, there's some stuff that's off, talk. Pull a Leandria. Say something about it. Don't do like them. Take it to social media, online. But go to the pastor. Go to the leadership and be like, look. And you might need a cuss. I mean, you might. There's sometimes some situations, and I know folk ain't gonna agree with me about this, but some stuff is cuss worthy, and sometimes you got to cuss a nigga out for them to get it. You got to flip. I'm telling you, I've had experience that in business. And I'm talking like this, then I'm like, look, I'm sick of you. Do what I said I asked you to. Then, oh, yes, sir. All of a sudden, it switched and it changed. So sometimes you might have to pull Leandria and just cut somebody out. But don't let that be your automatic and the first thing you do. I'm about to end this show. I'm going to take a few more callers. Caller in and 8334. Turn down your device. What's your name? Where you calling from? Thank you so much for staying on hold.
Hey, Larry, this is Carmen. I called in. First of all, I just want to rebuke you for that first caller. When he started reaching for his Bible, you should have hit the button. You made us suffer through that. Okay, and then the next thing was, I believe what you believe. I believe we need reform. I believe that now here goes. The problem I have is this. If I came in church, I walked to the organ and I sat there and if you watch Ally McBeal, there would have been a whole lot of heads exploding in the church at times. Because I would have been looking at them pissed off. Because whatever, but there's certain things you just don't say. It was, I said it Friday, the way she said it, if she hadn't done all that ignorant cussing, she could have made some points. She also could have maintained her platform and said, look, we got to reform this. Hey, I'm on that bandwagon. Then she starts gathering people who have been hurt. But they do say hurt people because she hurt even people like me. I'm like, girl, I'm for you. I know you got issues, but I can't get with all that ignorant stuff because it's not going to get the job done. So there is reform that is needed in the church, and we do need to reform. But I'm going to ask you this question because you are a gospel artist. Okay? You the gospel guru, man. Why
is all this stuff covered up? Is gospel, I mean, if we believe the Bible, I put something on Facebook the other day. I'm like, do we really believe God? Do we really believe the Bible? Because I really believe it. So I changed my life based on that, not based on these lying preachers and this and that and the other. And we all, anybody in the music industry, in the church, knows there's garbage there, okay? But here goes. But I haven't flipped out. I wanted to. You already know that. Mm-hmm. But the point of the matter is there's a way. So you answer this question for me. Why in the gospel industry is it so rampant? The deception, and I'm not talking about just the homosexuality thing, because everybody gets crossed up on that. But some of these people are, I mean, I stood there waiting to get paid, and the promoter was just up and gone. Or we had to back the promoter up against the wall, because it's like all the crooks come to gospel.
Okay, Carmen, this is what I'm going
to... Can you answer that?
This is going to be my answer, Carmen, and I know this is somebody going to say something to me about this, but let me tell you why. Because gospel and church folk try their best to maintain their image, that they don't get real with people. The reason why people can do that is because the gospel folk tend not to pull a gun, not to slip on brass knuckles and beat a nigga in the top of their head. That's the reason why. If folks start doing that, that will change that. Flip all the way out. Confront a nigga, pull him in the back of the room and be like, look, you got one more time. Me and Jesus gonna whip your black end. If you keep, that's what, confrontation, as I said in the other show, confrontation is carefrontation. Care for yourself and care for all parties involved. You got to confront some stuff. It's some stuff you got to flip. I think there are many reasons, but one of the main reasons, you asked me, I answered the question, is that we need to flip. Thank you so much for calling in. Caller in. Caller in 7584. What's your name? Where you calling from? You got 2 minutes. 7584.
All right. I just wanted to say, as far as whether or not church hurt is real, I think there are two sides to it. As you were quoting the, I guess, post from Hezekiah Walker, and he says how the church don't hurt people and whatever. I think there are two sides to that, because there is the institution of church, and there are certain systems within the institution that may cause hurt and harm to people. But then there's also the side of the human side of it, where then just because it's a person in the church that may have hurt or harm you, that doesn't necessarily equate church hurt.
Got it. And I agree with you. Thanks so much, Sean. Thank you so much for calling in. You didn't tell me where you were calling from. Well, they done hung the heck up. I guess these folk got to keep their identity so they keep their position in church. Ow! I'm calling in at 201-85. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Dr. Reid. This is Sherry calling from New Orleans. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Sherry.
Thank you so much for taking my call. First of all, I just want to say concerning whether she's in pain or insane, Leandria Johnson is definitely in pain. I watched both of her lives, and I just went through a variety of emotions. My heart goes out to her. She has obviously been hurt, not just through the church, but even in the gospel music industry. And you can tell that through both of her lives, who was speaking was her pain. And my thing is this: I absolutely believe that we should love her. We should not throw her away.
Absolutely.
My Bible says that love, kindness is how we draw them. I think that not only just the gospel music industry, but we all who have been impacted by her music, who love her, need to put our arms around her. But my second thing is this: I think it's two-sided, because someone also has to be the person who to have to speak up for the church. I understand, yes, there are many people that have a variety of feelings about church hurt. I totally understand it. You know, I can say that I've experienced a hurt in the church, but also the church have healed a lot of people. The church have done a lot of great things for people. That's my testimony of what the church is and has been in my life. And my thing is, we can do both. We can love those that have been hurt. We can embrace them. We can bring deliverance and talk about what happened. But then somebody also has to be the one to say, hold up, you can't lump the whole entire church into this box.
You can't.
Like the church is this huge monster that everybody needs to run away from. The church has done good. And my thing is, who is going to be the one to stand up to also take up for the church? Because all churches are not taking advantage of people. All churches, are not filled with pastors that are sleeping around and stuff like that. And I understand some people, they have that experience and they have that testimony. And I definitely believe that the church needs to be reformed and refined. But
as
at
opposed
the same
to ran
time,
from.
we can't just be, Leandria, yes, she was hurt and throw the church away. We can't throw Leandria away, and we can't throw the church away. I definitely believe in reform. And then my last question is this, Dr. Reid. First of all, I love you and love the show. But this is my question to you. And I haven't seen, I know you said that Hezekiah Walker put up something. But my thing is, where are the generals? When I say generals, I mean the pastors. What are they saying? What's going on with the?
They protecting the church.
Bishop Hilliards and the Creflos. I mean, the generals aren't saying anything.
They protecting the church. They protecting the church. They're protecting their bag. They're protecting and see, that's the thing. And I agree with what you said. 100 per darn cent. But they protecting that bag. It's just, and we have to see this. There has to be reform, and in reform, there's the rooting up, there's the revival, there's the Renaissance, but this thing has got to be reformed, and that has to be uprooted, because in church there's this business mindset that's in like every other business and like our government, to where the people don't matter as much as keeping everything afloat and keeping the money right. These generals need to say something. They need to say something about Leandria. Leandria, everybody knows you can't be in gospel and not know who Leandria is. She won season 3 when Sunday Best was our first show, that has something like that. They need to say something. And they need to say something and speak to her and speak to they can do both. They can bring correction to her, bring correction to the church. They can build her up. That needs to be done. But to answer your question, they're saving the bag. And I hate to have to cut you off, but I got to finish the rest of these callers. Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, love you, Dr. Reid.
Love you too. I guess I'm just going to be Apostle Reid, Bishop Reid, and Dr. Reid to some folk till Jesus come. Caller in 5386. What's your name? Where you calling from? 2 minutes.
What's up, Reid? My name is B from Greensboro, North Carolina.
What up?
What up? Yo, I understand church hurt because I've been hurt by local church. Mm-hmm. So I get that. I don't think nothing wrong with Leandria. What pissed me off with people is how, going through a divorce, something like that, you understand me, we're broken. We're not broken. I think people just pissed off and tired. And, when you're pissed off and tired, you use words you don't normally use. You go into range you don't normally go into. But like the last caller said, where's all these big-time preachers at? They don't give a damn. They never did. They never cared. Uh-huh. And it's a shame. It's really sad, man. It's getting to the point where the church is just, I'm 37, I'll be 38 in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I never in my life experienced this in the church, experienced what's going on now on YouTube and social media and all that with this church. This is getting Larry, it's getting really bad and insane. Something bad is really about to happen until these generals, like the young lady said, stand up and say something.
Well,
it's going to get to the point where...
This is what I hate to cut you off, but this is what I want to say into what you're saying. I don't know. I'm a positive person, and I'm an optimist too. And it can be in the midst of anything. I think this is all good. I think what we are seeing has always been going on, but social media and everything makes it to where it's in your face, and now we know. In fact, when I listen to my mom and dad and them talk, and when I read some stuff, all the way back, this stuff has been, look at the darn Bible. Whether you believe it or not, that's up in the air. But if you do believe it, look at it. There's all the drama that we see on reality shows. The Bible is loving hip hop. You know, so the thing is this. I think it's all good. And I think all of this is a part of awakening. It's a part of the shift. But this the first space of healing. The first space of healing is exposure. I think all of this is going to work out and become something good. I think when it's all said and done, we're going to be loving each other, loving all people of all faith, all sorts and kinds. Everybody can continue to believe how they believe, live the whatever life of holiness, you know, of restriction and self, you know, constriction, whatever you want to live, you know, and everybody can be able to live in harmony. I think it's just, and far as the church is concerned, I think it's going to cause the church to be the rehabilitative spiritual organism in every community that it needs to be, and a place for all people. That's what I think. Thank you so much for calling in.
All right, thank you, but I appreciate it.
All right, no problem. No, go ahead, Mash it. Oh, Lord Jesus, that just... Okay, I'm going to get them ones that been up here for a long time. Then I'm going to go about my business. Oh, caller in 4364. What's your name? Where you calling from? Got 2 minutes.
This is A.J. Johnson from Houston, Texas. Just want to talk on some of the stuff that I'm seeing and hearing about Leandria. My opinion, I've been preaching since I was 8. Been in church all my life. But me personally, I don't see nothing wrong with, and people can say whatever they want to say, I don't see nothing wrong with what she did, because it's like bringing reality to, all she did was do it on social media, and half of the people that's sitting on here talking and stoning her, if you be a fly on the wall in their house, they cussing too, who they sleeping with, what they doing, you know, and it's just, I'm just real like this. You know, me, myself, a couple of weeks ago, I was dealing with the same thing, ready to just go off and cuss out some folks or whatever, but Leandria did it for me, pretty much. It wasn't the same people. I just look at, it's too much playing going on in the house of the Lord. Now, let me make it spiritual. This is an awakening that God is exposing the body of Christ, and he letting us all know that if we not careful with what we doing to folks in church that are on the platform, that are in the audience, and I'm not trying to preach, but I'm just saying that he's bringing awareness to it, and he's allowing cousins of the demons to walk right in these services and set people straight. People tired of people playing with them, playing with their money, playing with their health, just playing with them, period. So, no, I just think everybody that's chiming in now about Leandria, how many people, yeah, my last name Johnson, so I'm a hold up Johnson. How many people ran out there and got an album? How many people went out there and bought us stuff? But
not many.
On here, and
not this last album.
They got something to, yeah, but everybody got something on here to say about Leandria. But it ain't even much about praying for her. It's just the fact of it is that this stuff been going on in the church. Everybody know about it, but what happened? They keep it hush-hush. Everybody quiet about it. Folks know folks sleeping around with folks. People know people doing folks wrong, talking about a line. And now when you come publicly, see, that's the thing. When you correct people publicly, because they do it privately, but you come to them publicly. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with what Leandria did. She came public with it. She said what she had to say. She wasn't no coward.
So she's in pain. She's not insane.
But let me say this.
Hold on, you done said too much. You can't say nothing else. Your time is gone.
Wait. I'm almost done. Let me just say this. Look at the fact that she just lost her brother. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm gonna talk. Yeah. Let's talk. Bring it over. Let's talk about that.
Let me say this. She lost her brother. I mean, and then people didn't care nothing about that. They kept booking her for stuff. I mean, that's how the church is. They can care less about what you're going through in your private life. Everybody just be like, hey, act like Tina Turner. Put a mic in her hand, and she gonna sing. That's all they care about. It's her hitting her riffs. How many people ever just got close to her and got to know her as a person? No. So really, to be honest with you, I tuned in to your show, man. I listened to you. I don't know you. This is the first time I ever seen it come across. Wow. But a lot of stuff that you spoke, it was real. A lot of things that you hit on was real about the church. But it's just time for the church to be the church and just quit being fake. Now, I go to church. I'm heavily involved in church. Don't got nothing. But I face stuff like that as an artist, too. I face that as a preacher, being in blogs, all kind of stuff. And then at the end of the day, the saints want to act all innocent when you come to the forefront and call them out. So, no, I don't think it's nothing wrong with what Leandra did because, truth of the matter, all them niggas cussing too.
Well, I ain't gonna say, I'm not gonna say that I don't think there's nothing wrong with what she done, but I am gonna say that she's in pain and she's not insane. I do think that, like I said earlier, the little insanity for you to mess up your bag. I don't know where I'm messing my bag.
People say insane, but the same God, and this is where people go wrong at. The same God that brought us out of our mess, and some of us still in it, is the same God that'll pull her on through.
Oh, yeah, she gonna be all. She gonna be right. God knows I pray. She gonna be all right. She gonna be all right. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much for calling. All right, take care. Keep watching. Subscribe. Jesus, lamb. These church folk do not know how to say 2 minutes. Look, 2 minutes. I said 2 minutes. All right, I'm gonna take a. All right. I don't know how much longer my patience can take. Go ahead and hit that thing. Okay, caller in and then 650. Caller. I'm about to call your whole number. Caller in and then 8364. What's your name? Where you calling from? You got 2 minutes.
Larry, this is Minister Harrison from Tennessee.
All right.
Let me say that what people need to understand is that everybody in the church is not a saint. Everybody in the church is not saved. So, therefore, you're going to have some problems in the church. People are going to hurt you. If you read your Bible, this tells you these kind of things do happen in church. We have a lot of people professing salvation, but they don't possess it. They don't know God. They haven't been born again. And people need to understand that the church is a group of born-again beliefs, not just a group of people that just go to a building. So people who really know God and really love God are not going to hurt you. But we do have a lot of imposters in the church. We have a lot of hypocrites. So people need to understand that the Bible talks about judgment is going to start in the house of God. So if judgment is going to start in the house of God, that means it has to be something to be judged. So people need to realize that. But you got to get yourself straight. You got to get yourself saved. Now, what she did was wrong, and anybody that knows God and knows the Word know what she did was wrong. And when you are a Christian, you understand that people are going to hurt you and mistreat you, but you have to forgive them and press on.
Okay.
We need to
I get what you're saying.
On radio and saying that everybody is a sinner and everybody's cussing and everybody's on. That's not true. God got some people who are truly living a holy life.
They are. I will fully agree with what you're saying. Thank you so much for calling in and your voice being heard. Continue to watch Larry live and subscribe. You hitting the wrong one, Kendall. It came up on top of it. Oh, you did? Okay. Hit it. Hit it. Oh, no, you want... So that's a... Caller in the 6472. I don't know how you got through there like that. Yep. Okay. Nobody there. All right. What you doing, nigga? Okay, hit that one. Caller in the 9983. What's your name? Where you calling from? I got 2 minutes. All right. Caller ending in 3864. What's your name? Where you calling from? All right, that's a sign. This is my last one. Oh, Lord. Caller ending in 2914. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Tony Jackson, and I'm calling from Richmond, Virginia. And I want to say, Dr. Reid, I really enjoy your show. But my issue or my concern is that I don't think that Leandria is really insane. I think she's hurting, but I think she may be having kind of I don't want to say a nervous breakdown, but my prayer is for her that she will endure and that she will really seek God. The issue that I have with this whole situation is that a lot of churches want musicians because musicians can bring in the people. The people get excited about the music, but people don't really care about the soul of the musician or the spiritual maturity or the growth and development of the musician. They just want the gift. They don't care about the person. And so for me, I see that as pimping.
But it's the same thing. It's the same thing for the pastor, though. A lot of folks don't care nothing about the pastor. Don't care nothing about the pastor. As long as he preaching that word,
No,
doing what
they
he's
just
supposed to do.
want what they want, and at any cost. So that's my whole concern with the music industry. I would say for gospel music, because I came up in a time when gospel music, it fed your soul. You could get scriptures out of it. You could learn pretty much whole Bible scripts from it. But now it's more about entertainment, and it's all about let's make these dollars. And I think that's going to hurt us. That's hurting us.
Well,
and I thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for calling in. All right, caller.
Okay, bye-bye.
Caller ending in 7652. What's your name? Where you calling from? 2 minutes. All right.
Hello?
Oh, you came too late, baby. Caller ending in 5945. What's your name? Where you calling from? 2 minutes.
My name is Sabrina. I'm calling from Orlando.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, I just wanted to say right quick, Dr. Reid, I'm first time listening to your show, but I'm going to make this quick. Not so much as Leandria Johnson, but how about all the Leandria Johnsons in the church community? I mean, she's the one that's been given this platform, and of course she's using it. I don't think she's insane. I think she's cursed. I think she's hurt. Tell you whatever it is that's going on in the community, it is not just with her, it is with everybody.
Oh, wow.
And then on top of that, one young lady asked where are the generals in the gospel. One thing about it, the generals can't speak because they're the ones that's the culprit.
Ooh.
They're the ones that's doing the hurting. They're the ones that's trying to do whatever they can do to secure their money bags. That's the only thing they really care about. And one last point I want to make is when it comes to the gospel community, a lot of people want to say that they're church hurt, but the reason why a lot of people get hurt by people in the church, not the church, because the church is just an inanimate object. It can't hurt people or anything else. But the reason why people get hurt by the people in the church is because they're looking at aesthetics. They're looking at the lights and the glamour and want to be a part of something big. But if they actually step into one of these little small community churches that really, really carry the anointing and that really, really love the people the way they should be loved, the way the Bible says, then they will experience a true God, a true anointing, a true love. But as long as you, and I don't have anything against the mega churches. They have nothing against the mega churches. But at the same time, if you can sit down and you can shake your pastor's hand without making an appointment, 9 times out of 10 you will have some genuine love.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm laughing so hard is because somebody called me from Germany today and said, look, when I get back to the States, they say if I'm gonna go visit a church, it's gonna be one of them small churches. I'm putting my earrings in because y'all wearing me out with this Dr. Reid and Apostle Reid and Bishop Reid. I need to make sure y'all remember what my name is, Larry. I just want y'all to know. Don't be calling me by my gift and by my function inside the church. You see these big dangly earrings? My mama call them hell bells and make me take them out before she come to the house. You remember who you talking to? Okay, but anyway, but yeah, I get what you're saying. A lot of times when you're in the smaller churches, they're glad to have more than 5.5 people there. So when they see somebody come in and give them actually 1.5 people, they're like, oh Lord Jesus, so good to see you in here, so good. I just love you. They really love you. But you're in that big church, they ain't got time to like, well, just another one to number. You just the one to bring. Give me that $5 when I call for 500 people, $5. I get that. I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's always the case, but I get what you're saying. Thank you so much for calling in.
No problem.
All right, calling in and then 6610. I think this is really going to be my last phone call. I can't take no more. I'm out. My butt is wet. It's wet sitting in here in this chair. It done got hot. So I can't just keep sitting it up on the hot lights. Caller in the 6610. What's your name? Where you calling from? Got 2 minutes.
Hi, this is Denise. I'm from Michigan. Real quick, I just want to say I think Leandra is mainly in pain, not insane.
Okay.
Only because of the fact that I'm a female musician, and
I like female
being
musicians.
a female musician, thank you. I'm a drummer. So by me being around a lot of church folk, I have seen a lot of things. Real quick, recently, about 2 months ago, I've actually sat in a service and had groups come up to me and ask for a lighter before they even went to go and sing.
Okay.
They wanted to go smoke, smoke their weed, smoke their cigarettes before they went to go sing, and then come back and ask for my lighter again after they got done singing. So Leandra is mainly in pain because I felt the same way up to the point where, okay, if this church thing is really for real, then why are we feeling the way we feeling? Why are we sitting up here feeling like, well, we believe in God and God is the reason in the season, but it's okay to still smoke weed and drink and have cigarettes. It's very confusing, sir. It's very confusing.
I get what you're saying.
So,
I'm so glad you brought this up, and I get what you're saying. My camera done got fuzzy because I went in front of. Let me say this. When it comes to what people choose to do and with their humanity, meaning whether they choose to smoke, drink, have sex, party, whatever. When it comes to what people do in their humanity, let's sort of not pay it too much of attention. Let's focus more on what is going on in their soul. A lot of times, all those things are coping mechanisms. A lot of times, those things are things that people are doing in order to make it or to feel like they are making it. A lot of times, the church that I pastored 20 years, and my ministry was deliverance, casting out demons, and prophecy and prayer. So I know that world of deliverance. But a lot of times, what happens in deliverance is supposed to happen by the finger of God's love. I think what we should focus more on in church is actual love. I'm not talking about a love that just patty cake and give sugar bits, and just make everybody feel good. But I'm talking about a love that is very interested in the healing and the wholeness, the education and the evolution of everybody's soul. I think when you put the focus there, deliverance, whatever you may term it or think it is or need or need for it to be, it happens in your life. I think deliverance is really the healing ministry. The healing ministry is that's what it should be. But a lot of people make it a whole lot of other things, so you get into a whole lot of weirdness. And so I think if we can focus as church people on healing, then I think the church will begin to be seen differently, and people will have a different experience with it. That's what I think. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you so much, mister.
All right. Oh, I'm mister. I like being a mister. This is like I'm a slave master. Mister. All right, y'all, I can't take no more. I'm done. X all them out. I can't do no more callers. It's too darn long. I'm sitting here. I'm sweating down my back. My butt is absolutely wet, and I hate that. I'm going to have to go in there and just wipe just because. Because at the top, my mama say I butt cracks like our daddy. Because mama say our daddy butt crack sweats. So me and I think my sister Krisha, we got sweaty butts. So I can't sit for a long period of time down nowhere, and that heat get gathered around there. You can't end the whole thing. That heat get gathered around there like that, like a fire. And it just start dripping. Then the back of my neck start dripping. Just go down the crease. When I preach, I start sweating. It go from my head down my back, the crease in my back, inside my thigh, straight to my shoe. When I'm finished, I'm walking and sloshing. So I got to end this. I hope. Oh, put this picture up. This is something we did not discuss right there. Family. Y'all know Leandria's brother died? This is something I think plays into some of the things that she is dealing with. I think we need to think about that. Just think about that a little bit. When you're talking about her, because she's cussing and she's talking strong about Marvin Winans and talking strong about this one and that one, I really think you guys, and I see you guys still calling in. I'm sorry, I am done. I'm going to have another show though, but it's not on Leandria. I can go ahead and tell y'all what that show is about. Lord, this is too much. Larry Manscaped, then you won't sweat. That's the problem. I don't have any hair over my body, which may be why my wife didn't have no problem going and get herself a wife, because she already married to me and ain't have no hair nowhere. Ain't got no hair to stop nothing. That's what the problem is. If I had some hair to catch it, it'll go straight to my shoe from standing up. But I think we need to think about this here. Death, that thing can shake you up. In fact, I think she done pretty good, because a lot of folk will be some kind of crazy after losing their brother. That Leandria been through a lot right before our eyes. I think she's gonna be all right. I think she's gonna be all right. There's a lot of people that are in the industry that behind the scenes are reaching out to her. I wish that they would get very vocal and get on their Instagrams and Twitters. I called a few and texted a few to give a statement. I told them that she's probably going to hear about this or somebody in her team, but church people just don't want to. Some people, it's like, I don't know what it is. I don't have that whatever. I would have easily put this up out there. I don't know. Maybe some of them decide to reach out to her personally. But at this point, she needs somebody to speak out publicly to say, Leandria, no, you ain't get do this right, you ain't do that part right, but look, you our girl and we here with you. Or something. Because people are really trying to kill this chick for real. All right, my camera went blurry and never came back. You see it? When I put that book up. Y'all go get this book, Let the Church Say Change. All y'all pastors out there, go get this book, read it, use the approaches that I mentioned in problem solving. It's forwarded by Dr. Mark Sharona. It's a great, great read. It's a short read. It's less than 100 pages. Order it, download it tonight. Just read through it. Go like the Let the Church Say Change page. Tag Marvin Winans in it and tell him, you need to change your song, because we don't need to say amen to a lot. Not everything, but a lot of this stuff that the church has been using for all these years is just not smart business. Some of it's outmoded and it's outdated. So let's update it. We can do it without changing what we're teaching. Jesus is God. I mean, I think that's what church believe. That's what I believe. But a lot of Christians don't believe that. We got to get all that stuff. We ain't got to agree on everything. We just got to get agreeing on the majors. And major on the majors and let go of the minors. If you want to know whenever I'm live, text Larry Live to 33222. You just saw it up there on the screen. Text Larry Live to 33222. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, hit that bell so you'll know whenever I'm live, you get notified. If you're on Facebook, go over right now. I want everybody before you sign off to do hashtag Larry Reid Live. Just type it in up under the video or on Twitter. Just type it in there so I can go back and look and see who was watching it, and it helps our analytics. So just do hashtag Larry Reid Live. Spell it correctly, please. If you're on Facebook, go over there and like and subscribe to the YouTube page. You can watch me there. And follow me on all my personal social media.
90 seconds.
Yeah, that's it. The show was 120 minutes. I am Larry D. Reid on my Snapchat and on my Instagram. And make sure you follow the Larry Reid Live IG page. I don't have that lower third million. I didn't make it. And Larry Live, we do a 1 minute clip of the show. 2 or 3 of the clips. Okay? All right. I'll chat to you guys later. I love you. See you later. Stream these 2 songs at the end of this thing or download it from
60
iTunes.
seconds.
You shut up, woman. I heard what you said. Darn, Jezebel. All right.
And hurt me. It never ends. Gotta say goodbye to my good love. You made me cry too much. Gotta say goodbye to my good love. You made me cry too much. Speculating about that paper. I feature. Burn them eyes, make that fire move on higher. I feature. Bring fame to the name, make them change it. I feature. While they hate and speculate, anticipating it. I feature. While they hate and speculating about that paper. I feature. Burn them eyes, make that fire move on higher. I feature. Bring fame to the name, make them change it. I feature. While they hate and speculate, anticipating. Everybody dance around loud as you can't stop hard, put your feet on the floor. Ain't nobody fly like you, lift it up, turn around.